Welcome to the Faith Legacy Series, which is designed to help families grow spiritually. This step is for grandparents and will help them leave a legacy of faith to future generations. Session 1 is led by nationally acclaimed author and leader in children's ministry, Larry Fowler. Larry is a noted Bible teacher. Let's listen in as Larry explains the biblical side of grandparenting.
Well, it's my pleasure to be able to start off this Faith Legacy series. I want to tell you, I believe that you are going to be challenged and encouraged and probably convicted sometimes. You're going to be equipped. I hope there's going to be some times where you laugh, and sometimes you might want to pull out a Kleenex, and we might cry just a little, but it's going to be a great series. And it's my privilege to kick off the first one. And I want to begin by telling you 3 things that I believe about being a grandparent. First thing is this. I believe, number 1, kids need grandparents. You agree with me? I mean, kids do. We have a significant part in their lives. In fact, that leads to number 2. And number 2 is this, that grandparents have incredible power in the lives of kids. They not only need us, but we have an opportunity to really influence their lives deeply. In fact, nobody has the heart of a child more than a grandparent except for the parents. I mean, we're second only to the parents, aren't we? In our ability to be able to reach the heart of a child. You know, school teachers can reach their heads, and others can have an influence, coaches and stuff, but nobody can influence their heart like somebody that's a part of the family, and we're part of the family. So we have this incredible opportunity to minister to grandchildren. Third thing that I believe is that it's time to make a difference. It's time to leave our greatest mark in the world. I really believe that. For those of you that are guys, you all understand that those of us men, we kind of often get our significance in life from the work that we did, and retirement, we're either there or it's not too far away, and we've kind of accomplished what we're going to accomplish, or we know we're not going to get promoted a whole bunch more times or anything like that. And so our position, career-wise, is kind of set. It's either set or it's over. And if we think that's our significance, then sometimes this time of life can be kind of discouraging for us. But I want to propose to you that this is actually the time of life when we can leave our greatest mark. One of the things that I've done is I've taught some lessons on leaving a legacy. And when I teach the lesson, I'll often ask the crowd, I'll say, think of the name of somebody that has left a legacy. Just think of somebody that's left a legacy. And then I'll ask them later who it is. And I'll tell you that 80 to 90% of the time, the person that they mention is a family member, and almost all the time in that family member, it's a grandma or a grandpa. And it's amazing to me that of course the influence comes later in life because they're mentioning your grandfather, grandmother, and they're saying this is a person that left the deepest impact. I want to tell you, this is a time of life that we can leave a huge impact. I live in Southern California, and we have 2 pro basketball teams there in Southern California, in the LA area, the Clippers and the Lakers. And this last year, something unusual happened. The Clippers made the National Basketball Playoffs, not the Lakers. And something happened in a game in May that was just really incredible. They were playing Oklahoma City, and they were behind in the 4th game, it was the 4th game of the playoffs. They were behind 2-1 in terms of winning games. And they had a game that started off awful for the Clippers. In fact, the score at the end of the first quarter was 15 Clippers, 32 Oklahoma City. And then the second quarter was kind of mediocre for them, and the third quarter was kind of mediocre. But then they had that comeback, and you've all seen teams that have had this glorious fourth quarter comeback. And they came back from nearly 20 points down, maybe over 20 points down at some point, and they won the game. So I say that to remind all of you, I don't know what your first quarter of life was like. Maybe it wasn't good at all. Maybe you've had some mediocre quarters of life. You know, we can kind of think of life in terms of quarters. And now it's fourth quarter. And even if we've had an awful first quarter or some mediocre quarters along the way, nothing of that can stop us from having a glorious fourth quarter. And you know, that's what it is. It doesn't matter how much we sugarcoat it. It doesn't matter how good we're feeling when we get up in the morning or not. It's fourth quarter. You know, we've gone through childhood and young adulthood and middle adulthood, and now we're to the last part of life. And as we approach the last part of life, I want to give you hope that this is the time that we can have the greatest influence in life. And it's not in our career. It's not in the people around us. It's in our families. And we have an opportunity to do that as grandparents. That's what we're going to be talking about in this series. We're going to be talking about influencing grandchildren, leaving a faith legacy. And we want to begin by getting you involved and encouraging you to talk. We're going to be doing a lot of talking in this series and encouraging you to do that as well. And so what I'd like you to do is I'd like to have you move your chairs so you're sitting in groups of 3 to 5. And I want you to answer this first question together. Here's the first question. What are simple opportunities you have right now to impact your grandchildren? So let's kind of drive a stake into right now. What opportunities do you have right now to influence grandkids? Okay, that's the first question. What opportunities do you have right now to impact your grandchildren? Enjoy talking together and getting acquainted, starting off with this discussion. Go.